Okay. Wait, something's fucked up? Maybe? Don't know.
I can check.
Okay, then check. Yeah, check if you please. Would you kindly?
Hope it won't kick me from the game.
I don't know. This is fucking stupid.
Well, YouTube says we are live now.
Yeah, YouTube says we are live, but I don't think we are. Okay, let's go to the settings for a minute.
Yeah, I'm watching your stream and it's okay.
It's okay?
I think I'm a little too loud, but it's better than the other way.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm watching you playing.
Yay! Fuck this. You are right next to me, so this is... So what the fuck happened that... So you're saying that we're fine, right? We are online.
Yeah, I'm watching your stream.
Okay.
Hey, I'm humping you. Not anymore. Yeah, there's a delay, but it's okay.
Okay. So, hello everybody. It's Solvidro and Arind. And today this is our first and we'll see if last or not episode of our podcast. I had this
very conspiratorial title.
Yes, I had this idea for a while, but really from the moment that Arind told me about his idea of doing podcasts, but these topics were not games, if I remember correctly, at least. But I really wanted to do it, and I asked Arind, and he said that he can do a podcast, so here we are. And we'll see how it goes.
I might regret that later, but what the hell?
What the hell? Okay, so...
yeah, fuck it, we're already out there, we might as well try.
Sorry. Yeah, we'll do it live. Okay. Fuck it. So, as you can see, there is no camera, because this is a podcast after all, so no need to show our faces. Even though Arind never shown his.
Yeah, and I wouldn't show my face, even if someone asks.
Oh, there you go. So, I have a list of topics, and Arind wanted to go blind on this. He wanted to see. Well, why I am explaining your position in this. Just say to the people what you said to me.
Well, my idea is I have no fucking idea what the fuck I'm talking about anyway, so might as well challenging myself. I think your thoughts on the subject.
Oh, okay.
Is it cutting off?
For a second there was cutting off, but now it's okay.
Yeah, probably because I'm watching our stream.
Okay, then
I have shit internet.
you can close it.
Okay, mom.
Okay, so if you, just as in the video description and the same as yesterday, if you have any opinion of the subject that we are discussing, on the topic that we are discussing, just write it down in the chat, and we will bring you to the conversation. Because for one, I love exchanging opinions. So yeah, if you have your own thoughts about the topic that we're discussing, just write it down in the comments, and we will address it. You wanted to say something?
I was about to ask where the fuck we were going, but never mind.
Oh, you know where to go in the game, so you just let me know where I should be driving, and...
Oh, I'm the navigator now, yeah?
Yep. Okay, so that summarizes everything that we will be doing today, and every week from now on, if there will be any interest in this format from you guys. So maybe let's start, and let's start with some games. The first on my list is Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. The game will be released August 22nd in US, and in Europe August 23rd, at least in Poland. As in the time of streaming and recording this, the Metacritic score is 86 and the OpenCritic is 87. The game
on
is
the game that didn't come out yet, yes?
the reviews are up already, so the embargo lifted and we have reviews of the game earlier. The same was with Horizon Zero Dawn. The reviews were out a week before the release of the game, and it looks good, at least for what... I don't want any spoilers, so I only read pros and cons, and the general consensus is that we get more of the same, but in the gameplay aspect anyway. But in this case, a lot of reviewers agree that more of the same is actually a good thing, because the Uncharted 4 A Thief's End was, until the Horizon Zero Dawn, it was considered a PS4 masterpiece in the technological and gameplay department. So having more of the same is good, in this case anyway. As well, most reviewers agree that having Chloe Fraser as a main character, for now, up till now, she was only a secondary character, like more of a support character in the third Uncharted, and now she is a star of her own game, which was supposed to be only a DLC, but it's a full-blown game for half the price, which is always nice. As well, we have Nadine Ross, which was introduced in Saints Row 4. Uncharted 4. My mind went to a different place for a second. She was introduced in Uncharted 4, She quickly became one of the fan favorites, and now she's a co-star of the game.
Stories especially for her because of the fans, or because they saw the fans liked her, or
yes, Chloe is
were
fan
there any
favorite.
plans before that?
Well, Chloe is fan favorite. She was in Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3. She was nowhere to be seen in Uncharted 4 apart for one letter that Drake received from her at the very beginning of the game. And the Naughty Dog thought about a lot of ideas, had a lot of ideas what to do with the DLC. And they wanted someone, they wanted to have a character that was not explored much before. So they thought about Chloe, they thought about Nathan's brother Sam, and they thought about, spoilers, Nathan's daughter, which I can't remember her name right now, but after some discussions, they finally decided to go with Chloe and Nadine, and the game is the story in the game starts 6 months after the Uncharted 4 ended. So we have a little glimpse to the future. That was confirmed that there is no Drake's cameo or anything about Drake, really. This is purely Chloe and Nadine's story. And a lot of people right now thinks that this will be good for the franchise, especially that the game for now is well received by critics. No really user scores, user reviews, anything like that, only critics for now. But there is at least it will be the same, the gameplay, the mechanics is on the same level that Uncharted 4 was, which is great.
Are they using any new engine, trying to innovate something, or just the same mechanics, same engine?
No, it's the same engine, the same mechanics. They extended a little bit of a stealth mechanic, because Chloe is not like up close and personal kind of character. Nathan was. She is more stealthy, so they rebuild a little bit stealth system. They fleshed out the stealth system. They gave in the single player the player ability to use the opportunity to use a silencer in the weapon. So now you can just kill some dudes with a silencer. You don't have to go up close and personal.
I think it would be better if you couldn't use any weapon. Don't know if that would make much of a sense in real world, but I don't really like games that are stealth based that allow you the option to kill your enemies. I much prefer to go by them, not really bother them, and when there's a risk that they discover me, you get fucked already. You have to hide.
Well, it's not the Dishonored kind of game. It's not stealth based. It's just the stealth sections are more fleshed out, but it's still the same Uncharted, which is a third-person shooter action-adventure game. So I don't think that it will suit the another Uncharted game. If it were, if they were to make a new series, then yeah, sure. But because this is still Uncharted, the gameplay is still Uncharted. It's just the other characters, new story. I think that this is a better approach, because it would have been much different from all of the other 4 Uncharted, which for some it would have been good, but it could be good, but it could have been good, but I don't think the fans want something like this, and if they do, they didn't vocalize this loud enough. So for now, I think that this is a good approach. Do you have any?
Not like
yeah.
Well, it's not like I've ever played any of the Uncharted. Know mostly about it from some gameplay videos or some other sources. Like for you, yeah, like you, for example, you would tell me about them. But I haven't played much of those.
Yeah,
if not at all.
Yeah, I get you. It's just, you know, I wanted. This is one of the top news this week, so I wanted to address it. It went longer than I expected. But
well, so far this podcast seems like a monologue.
Well, but this is, I hope this is where it will stop. I think now that this will be a conversation, especially with a couple of other subjects that I have listed here.
Shit, no, I think I should have read a little bit.
Okay, so that's it for Uncharted. Let's go. Let's stay in the PlayStation news for a minute. Did you hear about the game called Shenmue 3?
Not.
No?
Never heard it. Nope.
Okay, and the Shenmue series in general?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't own any console, so I don't know any games that come out on those.
Okay. So,
hey, we can talk about it.
So just very briefly, Shenmue 3 just got a new publisher. It was announced first E3 2015, if I remember correctly. No, not 2015. 2013. It was announced 2013. The Sony was supposed to be the publisher, but now Shenmue 3 game have a new one, which is Deep Silver. And if you don't know or don't remember right now, Deep Silver is the publisher of the games like Dead Island, Saints Row, for example, to just name a few. So I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, especially looking at the things that they've published. But and the whole the Dead Island 2 drama, when where the island was just pushing around, and we don't really even know if the game is still in development and when it will be released. But on the other side we have things like Saints Row or Persona series, which are good, with Persona 5 very good. So I don't really have an opinion on this. It's just something that I thought will be worth mentioning.
Well, if the developer is bad, there comes really a question if how much did he have an input into the development process of the game. If it just kept to the we're just gonna publish this game for you, I don't think there should be any problems with the game.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. The same, everyone said the same with Dead Island 2. And now we know that Dead Island 2 had ups and downs mostly because of Deep Silver. So we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. We just have to wait and see, I guess.
At this point we can just speculate, unless they come out with an official statement about the game. I don't think we can say much about it. Hey, doing good so far.
Yeah. So this is just for
dodge the questions.
This is just for a brief mention because we still don't know much about Shenmue 3, we don't know much about rumored Shenmue 1 and 2 remastered. Will it be will the Deep Silver publish it or not? We just have to wait and see what happens. So the last PlayStation news this week, the PlayStation Experience 2017 was announced. It will be held from December 9 to December 10, so 2 days only. Again in Anaheim, California in United States. The tickets are now available to buy. And mostly I'm talking about this because this is considered right now one of the big gaming shows during the year, on par with almost on par with E3 and Gamescom and Tokyo Game Show. And last year we have the unveiling of the games like Uncharted: The Lost Legacy and the most anticipated game on PlayStation of all, I think, which is The Last of Us Part 2. So I hope that this year will be just as exciting or even more exciting than last year, but we'll see. This is just a brief mention, nothing more. Now, two more.
Fucking console peasants.
Thanks.
Glory to the PC Master Race.
There will be some PC news as well, don't worry about that.
Hey, I know a couple of those.
Now a little bit of Xbox news as well. The Xbox One X, a lot of X's, pre-order details will go live today, or maybe they went live already during the Microsoft press conference. Unfortunately, at Gamescom. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any. So I have no idea what exact pre-order details are. We will update you on this next week probably, because right now, sorry, but we have no more information than this. Another one is Crackdown 3, which was delayed to the spring of 2018, and Shannon Loftis told Polygon that they delayed the game because they want to deliver right game with right quality at right time. And what do you think about this?
I don't think that it's a bad thing that they wanna prolong the development process. It's always better if the developer takes time to finish the game. I don't think you can really fault the developer that they made that decision.
I agree to some point. I agree that it's a good thing that a developer wants a little bit more time to polish the game. But at the same time, let's consider one more thing. For now, we have official numbers of PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro sold, which is more than 60 million. We have no idea about the numbers of Xbox One and Xbox One S. There is the Xbox One X will be released November this year, and Crackdown 3 was supposed to be the launch title for the console.
Oh, so they fucked up on that part.
Yes. And
so it was supposed to be a console seller title.
Yeah, exactly. And just to remind you all, this year we got the cancellation of a Scalebound, the JRPG from Platinum Games, which was supposed to be one of the system sellers as well, because a lot of people was hyped for this game. So now it looks like it's not a good year for Xbox. I don't think that no, Halo 5 was last year, right? Yeah.
I think so.
This year was supposed to be the year of Scalebound and the Crackdown 3. Scalebound was cancelled. Crackdown 3, the launch title for Xbox One X, was delayed to the spring 2018. So Xbox, in my opinion, is now in trouble if they want to sell their new system to the people.
Xbox, we're talking about Microsoft, I think, in this case.
Well, it's...
as far as I know, it's Microsoft's baby.
Yes, it is, but at the same time, there is a Xbox division with Phil Spencer leading the whole thing. I have to say that I have no idea what they want to do now, but this is not the best case scenario for them. So, I don't know, do you have any thoughts about this? Because this was supposed to be a system seller, or they wanted it to be a system seller. And without Crackdown 3, even though it was supposed to be on PC as well, and it will be on PC as well, Crackdown 3. I'm sorry. Crackdown. Hey! Crackdown 3. Well, right now we have. Xbox have no really strong title for the launch of Xbox One X. And even if you think about the games that were supposed to be the best looking, the best performing on Xbox One X, at least in the console, on the console, we don't take under the consideration the PC with the games like Assassin's Creed Origins. I don't think that at this point Microsoft has any like they have virtually no strong title for their console, for the newest console.
Now I'm wondering if it might have been Microsoft's fault. Because if it's a launch title, they basically got a new console, like a new system, and they had to publish a game when the system comes out. Especially for the system, maybe there's some problems with it. And that's why they're delaying the development of their game. I don't know what happened during the development.
Yeah, I don't know as well, but it's very it's not encouraging if you think about this, because we have things like cancellation of Scalebound and the delay of Crackdown and a couple more things that happened on Xbox this last couple of months, that I'm not very optimistic about the future of Xbox, which is kind of a shame, because the Xbox is PlayStation's biggest rival, and right now, like we always said, and like almost everyone always says, the monopoly is not good in the industry. So if the Xbox dies, then PlayStation has the monopoly.
Well, we still have Nintendo.
Yes, and the Switch is a very successful console. But Nintendo themselves said that this is not a primary console for anyone. They are seeing this like a secondary console. Like you have a PC, or you have a PlayStation, or you have an Xbox, and you have a Switch. Just
yeah, Switch seems to me like it's more of a on the move kind of gaming device.
Yeah, it's more like a new handheld device than anything else. It's a damn
like
good
traveling or something.
Yeah, it's a damn good traveling device, don't get me wrong, but it's not a primary home console. So I hope that Xbox will do some changes in their strategy, their policy, and come back strong next year, because I'm starting to doubt in the Xbox's future at this point, with all of the practices and all of the news that we got on Xbox. Granted, we have some good things from Xbox, like I believe it's called the Game Pass, when you have a shit ton of titles for was it $20 a month or $30 a month, something like this, over 100 titles to play, as well as the backwards compatibility. Yeah, thanks.
Yay!
With the Xbox 360 and now with the original Xbox, or soon with the original Xbox games. So Xbox and Phil Spencer, they have good ideas, but they also have, or maybe not they, maybe the Microsoft has some terrible management with very stupid thing to do. With very stupid things that they are doing. That's what I wanted to say.
And my biggest problem is that I don't really know what happens inside of those companies, so I can't say for sure who's at fault there.
Yeah, I know, we don't have any insider information, but
maybe someday.
Maybe someday. We can only speculate right now. This is a podcast, right? So these are our
yes. So far it doesn't look too good for Microsoft.
Yeah.
And we can keep it at that, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking about Crackdown, from what I remember.
Yes, that's right.
And I think I heard a rumor somewhere that they're planning to make the 4th in the series.
The 3rd was delayed and it's not finished yet, but there are already rumors about the 4th one. Great. Yeah. That's just great.
At least by then the system will be out. The developers will have some practice with making games for it.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so moving from the Xbox to the PC.
Glorious PC.
Glorious PC Master Race. We are playing on the PC right now, but that's irrelevant.
You hate us cause you ain't us.
Have you ever heard about the game called We Happy Few?
Yeah, I heard about it, and I think I know what you're trying to talk about. So, go on.
So, if you don't know, the little, well, at least for not so long ago, little game We Happy Few gained a publisher, which is a Gearbox software.
Ooh, Alien Colonials Marines.
And as a friendly reminder to you, what games Gearbox made or published. Let's start with the good ones. Borderlands series, the 1st, the 2nd, and they published the Borderlands pre-sequel. Homeward Remaster and Homeward Deserts of Karak, I believe it's called. The Homeward Remaster, there was the first Homeworld, the second one, and the expansion to the first Homeworld as well. It was reasonably priced and well made, well remastered, so this was a success. And the Half-Life, that's right, the original Half-Life on PS2. They ported the original Half-Life to PS2, updating the visuals, smoothing the gameplay, so it may not be remembered as a superior version to the PC, because of course we have a mouse and keyboard, so the aiming in general is better on the PC. But it was better looking. On console it was very smooth, especially for the time that it came out, which was at year 2001. So these are the good ones. Now let's talk about the bad ones, and not only games but practices as well. First one on the list, Alien Colonial Marines. Any thoughts on that one?
Piece of shit.
Marketed as a great game.
Broken promises.
Marketed as
trailers.
a dream come true.
Yeah, kinda missed the mark there. And up until the publisher of this game, they kept saying it's really good.
Yes.
At least from what I remember.
Yes, marketed as great, as a dream come true, as a new life for the Alien series in the game department. But as you said, there's bullshit, the shitty game, atrocious, just plain.
Which no one even wanted to take a blame for, might I add.
And to make it worse, I believe the lead, I don't remember the lead developer or someone from the studio, I think, believed in this project so much that that this person financed like a half of it from their own resources. So I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was the CEO of Gearbox or somebody, but it's one of the absolute worst games ever made. At least, no, not at least, just one of the worst games ever made. The next one is arguably even worse than Aliens Colonial Marines, Duke Nukem Forever.
Took like 6 years to make or something?
No, after more than 10 years.
Oh, yeah, I was off a little.
After more than 10 years of development, Gearbox finally published it, and it was garbage. Just fucking garbage. And other great practices of Gearbox, their partnership with G2A.com, and due to release of Bulletstorm, full clip, whatever, remaster edition, when they charged, I don't remember how much, but for
probably a full price.
yeah, probably no, not only a full price for a game, but they also did the collector's edition, which was way overpriced to the things that were inside the box. But at least this one had a game in it, and remember this because it is important. And the last one is cancelling the Obsidian RPG, which later they rebuild, they financed with their own money, and now we have Pillars of Eternity.
So, a quick note about the previous game. No, about G2A. I think their contract with G2A, because they didn't deliver on their promises.
maybe.
So yeah, I think they didn't publish in partnership with G2A. At least that's what I heard.
Oh, sorry. Well, that very well may be true, but now did you so you remember what I just said about the Bulletstorm and the collector's edition?
Game in the box.
Yes, and this is very this is very fucking important, because right now We Happy Few got 2 editions. One of them is a normal, let's say normal edition, standard one, with of course the $60 price tag. So it basically became a full AAA game, but
it was an indie title, yeah?
Yes, and we will talk about this for in a second, but ladies and gentlemen, there also is a collector's edition of We Happy Few for $150 without the fucking game.
Yay.
So if you want the game and the collector's edition, it's
like what, $160?
It's $210, which which in Polish zloty will be about 1,000.
Yeah,
are you out of your mind, Gearbox? Mass Effect Andromeda tried this already. There is an edition of a game without the game, but at least they give you the fucking vehicle Nomad that can be you have the remote control one. So at least there is a actual toy to play if you into this kind of things. But here
you can argue that you can put it on your shelf and look at
but here you have some stupid little bonuses and no game.
Let me pull this up. I wanna see this fuck up of a development of a publisher.
Okay, so let's change places in the car so I can drive while you are watching.
Yeah, just keep talking. I'm gonna do a quick Google search.
Yeah, and you can ask yourself, is this really worth it? And I don't mean the $150 collector's edition. I mean the full $60 game. Well, let's see a couple of facts. Until recently, the game was sold for $30, so half the price. Right now, its price tag is $51. I bear in mind that the game is still in early access. It's not out yet.
Hey, but you at least get a game handbook that tells you how to be happy.
Great!
that you made a shitty decision to buy this.
Great!
What the fuck?
Just great.
Man, I'm loving this.
Of course, well, back to the game itself. The at least the game right now expanded from a little roguelite, at least they called it like that, to a full-blown FPS survival game with a story campaign and 3 playable characters, and almost 250 unique encounters, whatever the fuck that means. But even though the game expanded and we have a shit ton more of content, at least this is what they claim, we also get DLCs and Season Pass because Gearbox.
Oh, fuck.
So, thank you very much, Gearbox. Of course, the developer of the game, I don't remember the name, I'm sorry. But at least the developer of the game said that they will release a full game, and their DLCs and their Season Pass content will be a fresh new content and not a cutout from the main game, because they don't want to
By the way, the developer is Compulsion Games.
Oh, Compulsion Games, yes, the creators of Contrast, which is a fun little game. I recommend it. But they didn't want to upset their backers on Kickstarter, the people who bought the game in early access already.
Yeah, I imagine they're quite pissed at the moment.
Well, and upset is not the right word, but I
said pissed, not upset, but okay.
Yeah, they don't want to piss off their fans, but at least they want to let you know that they respect you, they respect the money that you put into this project on Kickstarter and via Steam, and they don't want to disappoint you. But at the same time, even though the Compulsion Games want to be transparent and honest with people, we, on the other hand, we have the Gearbox. So I'm torn, and I don't know what are your thoughts about this?
To me, as long as they keep on their promises from the Kickstarter, at least for the people that paid then, I guess I'll be happy then. They don't really owe anything to the people that are gonna buy the game where the Gearbox publishes it. Just keep the promises to the people that backed you, be straight with them, don't try to swindle them, and you're in my book. And I don't see that much of a problem in indie game becoming, let's call it AAA title, which comes with a price of $60, I think, in standard. It's always better, in my opinion, that the developer gets paid more for their game, because then they have more money for future projects. I think I heard something about the developers not... I think there was an article about indie developers not making the prices right. They're lowering their prices because they think they're gonna attract more people to buy their games, and don't really take much into account the whole distribution and everything else, the costs that come with that. So I'm okay on that part too. but on the whole, well, the practices of making season passes and everything, I don't really like those. I never bought those, never will.
I think that no one likes season passes, especially...
Yeah, but like we know now what comes with the season pass.
For now, no, we don't know what comes with the season pass.
Yeah, so this is shitty info without much of information. So it might be just some, don't know, hat in a game that costed you a lot.
Well, like with most of those subjects, we have to wait and see, because most of them are just early things. Sorry.
I guess if you like the game and there's more content to come, I guess it's a good thing, because they basically are they will be made to make new content from the game. They'll be pushed by their publisher to come up with something. Might be a little motivation for them, I guess.
Might be. But at the same time, just think about the titles that were released recently or will be released. Like Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, the game that is about 6 to 8 hours long, I think, and the game costs 24 or 29 bucks, as well as the mentioned earlier Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, which is the full-blown game, the DLC made to full-blown game that costs 30 bucks as well. So I don't really see the sorry, I hope that you haven't heard this. But what was I saying?
About Uncharted costing 30 bucks.
And hashtag not sponsored, just to be clear.
Yet.
Please, Naughty Dog, I love your games, and he can love your games as well.
Yeah, just send me a game and a console, and I'll talk everything about it. Only need a bright light, no shit talking.
Well, with Naughty Dog games, there is a little to none shit talking, but this is not the subject right now. Yeah, what I wanted to say is that there are games that cost less and are considered to some degree an indie goes AAA titles. So I don't really see any justification in case of We Happy Few, even though I'm interested in this game. I want to see what happens, and I want to see how the game's going to be, how it's going
The
to turn out.
justification could be costs in making video game. Like there isn't just one person working on it. There's people that need to get paid, need to live.
Yes,
the other thing
I know.
is publishing, distribution, and things like that.
Well, to some degree, I can understand this way of thinking, but
They don't really owe us anything, to be honest. It's their game, they can do whatever the fuck they want with.
Well, not to us, but they owe to their Kickstarter backers.
The people that pledged the money for the game.
Yes, they owe to those people because this game basically exists only because those people gave their money for it. So
that I think they should receive the season pass and every DLC for those people that paid for the game on Kickstarter.
I know that they going to receive the game itself, the full game, but I don't know about the DLC. I didn't find any information about this. So unless
it would be a nice gesture, but that's me just talking. So what the fuck do I know?
Well, you know some things at least. You have an opinion, so that counts. So yeah, the compulsion games. I'm rooting for you. I hope that this will turn out to be a great game, and that you will deliver on your promises. But we'll see how it goes, right? We can't say any more than that. Actually, we don't know any more than that.
On most every topic.
So another one.
Can say shit. We'll find out.
So another one. Another news that I think was big and interesting was the fact that For Honor tournament was won with an exploit. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I heard about it.
So
I don't know what the exploit is, but I heard it was used to win it.
Okay, I'll give you details in the moment.
Okay.
Just the guy named SB Alernakin, I think. He's a Polish guy, which is
Go Poland.
which really surprised me. Mr. Jakub Palen. So if you will watch this in, I don't know, if in any space and time dimension, whatever, hi.
What universe?
Probably
not ours.
In whatever universe, hi. Thanks for watching this. Yeah, the exploit is called the exploit that he used is called an unlock tech, and it makes certain attacks unblockable because of a lock-on feature, which focuses your attacks on a single target. So if you unlock your lock-on, if you unlock your focus during a swing, some of the attacks become unparable. This is an exploit that was talked about, that people were talking about for a few months, and he himself talked about this, I believe, about 2 weeks before the actual tournament. And because Ubisoft didn't give a shit, he just said, fuck it, I'm going to do it. So yeah, now we have a guy who won the whole official tournament with an exploit because of the fact that Ubisoft didn't care. Or
I bet you now they're gonna patch this game.
They already did. After
nice. After the fact that it was used.
After they fucked up, they patched the game, but I think the exploit is still there. I don't know for sure, but I've read that even though they patched the game, they didn't patch the exploit itself. They gave a warning or something. I don't know. The news that I've read about this was very confusing, so I'm not 100% sure how the patch went exactly. But basically the tournament became a fucking cheese fest. It's right now a lot of people laugh at this tournament and says that another one will be under the banner who can cheese who better.
Fucking I salute you, man. Fucking great way to win tournament.
It's just... what can I say? It's just fucking great. Now we know what happens when the developer don't give a fuck about their own game.
He should have walked out on a stage and said "you welcome."
Who?
Because that was the guy that won the tournament by cheating and basically making the fucking developer patch their fucking game.
Well, maybe he didn't say exactly that, but he said something similar to this, which is even more... I don't fucking know thing in this whole situation. This is just hilarious.
Do we have his statement or something?
Yes, there is his statement. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find it. The only thing that I found is his statement that before the tournament, he didn't play the game for more than 2 weeks, and he just came to the tournament with this exploit in mind, and he won it because of exploit. So so basically he destroyed every player that was I don't know, training before this. He just used the exploit. He didn't play a game for 2 or 3 weeks, something like that, before the tournament, and now we have our champion. And now he is, well, he is either at home or he's partying because he won 10,000 bucks, which here is well, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money even when it's at 10,000 bucks, but in Poland it's almost 45,000 Polish zloty, 43,000, something like that. So imagine that.
Yeah. On the other hand, I can't imagine that the other players like him very much right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Patching the game is okay, I guess, but way to go. Yeah, I'm looking for his statement, but I can't find anything either.
So, so the last gaming news that I have listed here, if you have more, then feel free to follow. this because I have two more news, one gaming news and one little movie news, just just to summarize everything. But the gaming news, the Battle.net is back. So the Blizzard officially cancelled their previous statement. There is no Blizzard launcher, Blizzard stream, Blizzard whatever. Right now it's Battle.net again. So it's a little news. The funny thing is that even after they renamed Battle.net to Blizzard Launcher and so on, even the Blizzard employees themselves still used it. For example, when they posted in May of this year that Destiny beta will be coming to PC, they said that the beta will be on Battle.net, not Blizzard, not anything like that. It on Battle.net, and it was an official statement, official post. So there you go. Don't change things, Blizzard.
If people are in your company are making those mistakes, it's better to keep calling it that.
Yeah, don't change things, especially when they have a tradition. Remember that Battle.net is more than 15 years old, I believe. So changing something, the name like that, it wasn't a good move, Blizzard. The people called it still Battle.net. Your own employees called it a Battle.net. So why even change it? Why even try? Just leave it.
Yeah, I don't see much logic in that. You have this brand that everyone knows about, and you just wanna change the name of it.
Yeah.
There's not even a business standpoint that would tell that is a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, let's leave it at that. So this will be all for our gaming news, unless you have some more news that I didn't mention so far.
Oh man, I'm on a low. I don't watch any.
Yeah, but you said
at least not too many. I get like 1 or 2 articles maybe, and that's it.
Yeah, okay, but you said that you have couple of news, that you've heard couple of news. So are there any that?
Yeah, but I was talking about the news that you were about to talk.
Oh, okay.
That you were about to talk about. Fucking English.
Okay, so that's it for the gaming news. Now to the movie news. It will be not much. It's only one news really. So let me ask you a question. Have you heard about this little franchise? It's not a very known franchise, not a very known name. Star Wars.
Never.
Yeah.
As I live, I've never heard about it.
Yeah, I didn't know much about it either. It's a little movie, well, couple of movies.
Probably one of those indie titles.
Yeah.
That's some low budget cinemas.
Yeah, that's right. I think so too. But to a but on a serious
I am serious.
On a serious side right now, they just announced, well, not just, but they announced this past week there will be an Obi-Wan Kenobi solo movie. After Rogue One, people wanted very much to see Obi-Wan Kenobi solo movie. Ewan McGregor wanted to do an Obi-Wan Kenobi solo movie, and now they actually announced it, and they actually doing it. And for now, we only have the information that Ewan McGregor will probably star as Obi-Wan again, and the Stephen Daldry is to be a director of this project. If you don't know Stephen Daldry, he did one of his better known movies are Billy Elliot. It's a movie from 2000, from the year 2000. It was nominated to the Academy Awards in 2001. It had 3 nominations. Unfortunately, it didn't won any of them. It won 1 Golden Globe. 1 or 3 Golden Globe? No, 3 I think Golden Globes. But yeah, he is a renowned director, and well, Obi-Wan Kenobi was one of the and Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi was one of the highlights of Star Wars prequels. So let's just, knowing Star Wars in general and knowing at least the movies, do you have any expectations as what the movie will be about?
Well, I have mostly questions like, do we know how far in past the, I think it was 3rd movie?
No,
in the
we
franchise?
don't know anything about the plot. For now, we only know that the movie will happen, and this is the only thing that we know. That's hence my question. Do you have any expectations of this movie? Do you want it to be Obi-Wan as a Force ghost? Do you want it to be a young Obi-Wan training before the even Star Wars prequels? Do you want it before the Phantom Menace? Do you want it to be like the bridge between the episode 3 and episode 4? Any ideas whatsoever?
I think I would much like to see him when he's younger, like when he's awakening his father, because that's like most of the movies from Star Wars. Like there's our hero and he awakens, going through this long journey to acquiring it and beating the bad guy, I guess.
So
that's always fun to watch for me.
Yeah, sure, I agree. Those movies are very fun to watch.
Yeah, but I don't think they have enough for 3-part movie.
Yeah, but I for one want it to be the bridge between the episode 3 and episode 4. To see the Obi-Wan communicating with Qui-Gon Jinn, maybe to see, maybe bring Liam Neeson back as a Qui-Gon Jinn Force ghost. After all,
Jar Jar becoming a Sith Lord.
Oh fuck Jar Jar. But maybe. Maybe take the Obi-Wan and what the fuck is going on with this car? maybe just take the Obi-Wan and do some stuff on Tatooine. After all, he's watching after Luke this whole time, so maybe show him how he's training on Tatooine to not become stiff and old, to still be a Jedi Knight. Maybe some adventure of Obi-Wan, or maybe more a movie like a Logan was, more emotional, like this personal journey of Obi-Wan, not necessarily an action-packed movie, but more of a philosophical approach. That's what I want to see, actually. Like, bring Ewan McGregor back, bring Liam Neeson back, and let's do some kind of a student mentor thing, like an emotional personal journey of Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon Jinn is there to help him and give him advice on what he's doing. Something like this.
Yeah, I haven't read any books, so I don't know much of the plot outside of the movies.
I didn't either. I just watched. I just read a couple of comic books, and I watched the whole Clone Wars 6 seasons. So this is the only thing that I know, and the Clone Wars is between the episode 2 and 3. So yeah, not really.
Hey, remember, it's Disney now, so everything that was before is out of the bag.
Well, they brought back Grand Admiral Thrawn, so they could do a lot of things. We'll
yeah,
see.
I just hope that it won't be a rehash from previous movies.
I just hope that it won't be like a Rogue One, because I don't want to offend anybody, so this is my opinion only. But and if you disagree with me, sure, leave your opinion in the comments section down below or in the chat if you are watching this live. But as for the Rogue One, I didn't like this movie. For me, it was dull, sappy movie with very few Star Wars-esque moments. I never felt that I was watching a new Star Wars movie. I thought that I'm watching some war movie in space that happens to have Darth Vader and Grand Moff Tarkin.
Nazis on the moon.
Maybe not that kind of a movie, but
I think the whole shtick of the stormtroopers and everything is that they're much alike the Nazis.
yeah,
From what I heard, that they're supposed to be the bad guys.
Yeah, the stormtroopers and the Empire are like the Third Reich. That's correct. Well, they are. At least they're supposed to be like the Third Reich. But yeah, I didn't like the Rogue One. So I hope that with the Obi-Wan movie they will take a different approach. At this moment I can only dream, because we have no details. I can pray, I can dream, but no more than that. So that's about it for me. Do you have any more any closing thoughts? You want to say something more, to add something to this whole conversation?
I think I'm good. As far as I remember, Rogue One, the side movie. As much as I don't like it, I don't wanna call it the side plot, because I think that's what happened in that movie was a really major thing that helped the rebellion. But yeah, it wasn't great. I don't think it wasn't great either. And that's about from me. I don't really have any more thoughts.
So, save Obi-Wan! Save the dream! And thank you everybody so much for watching this or for listening to this. If you have any suggestions how we can improve, change the format of this thing. This is only the first episode, I hope there will be more.
Yeah. Make our work for us.
No, of course we will think about this, but if you two have any suggestions or if you have any thoughts about this, leave them in the comments section down below. We always love to hear from you, and well, that's about it for now. So we'll see you in the or rather you will hear us in the next one. Take care, guys.
Bye.